everyone. So, what we are going to do today is another cash stuffing. Oh, I apologize. I think I just bumped the table and that made the whole thing shake. Anyway, back on track. Another cash stuffing. So you guys will notice that here in the end of the month, cash stuffing gets a little bit tighter. There's a little bit less to work with, but that's all right. We're still going to do what we can to keep chipping away at those goals. So today for our cash that we're using, we have 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. So, I'm going to be playing around with $40 today. As usual, we are going to start with our 1 month ahead binder. So we'll open this up, flip to the very last one. Right here, rent. We're going to count out $10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so this is what we have to play with. So as normal, rent is getting $1. Let's see here. So we're at 4. So that means most of these categories will have 4. Now, I did finally check the calendar. We do actually have 5 Saturdays in the month of January. And so each one of these envelopes will have at least $5, which is kind of nice. We'll have something to condense from each one of these. However, I'm not necessarily sure that we'll have necessarily the correct denomination, or the correct number of, say, 5s to put towards everything. So some of them may have to go without, but we'll get whatever ones we can done. All right, so got everything through bike insurance, pet insurance. All right, our last one, rent insurance, of course, gets the remaining $3. Now, this one's starting to look a little chunky. Rent insurance, as you can see, we're aiming for 14 because I think it's like $13 and change. So let's count how much we have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means next week we'll actually only be putting $2 in rent insurance, and that'll be fully funded, which is super exciting. But then $2 can go to pet insurance, so then that'll bring that up to $6. And then after that, each stuffing, rent insurance won't get anything because that's done. But pet insurance will actually get 4. So, boy, it actually feels like we're getting somewhere. That's nice, and all within 1 month. That's some pretty awesome progress to be seeing just 1 month in to having my 2026 system all set up. All right, so now on to savings challenges. Now we do not have a 20 pulled out this time. We have 20 here to play with, but we don't have the denomination of a 20, so we are gonna unfortunately skip this first one. But we do have a 10 to put into our dino savings. Let's see here. We'll mark off the egg this time. So, nice little chunk in there so far. All right, bird savings. We're gonna put 5. I'm gonna put 1 in here. And we'll do this guy. All right, so we have no, this would be, is this 15? My math would have been off then. No, we started with 30. We had 30. My bad. Going into the savings challenge binder, we had $30 to play with. So that explains why we've put away 15 and we would have 15 left. So we are going to see kind of what we can do with this 15 in the Valentine's Day dice roll. In order to get this done in a fairly decent amount of time, we are going to have to do multiple hearts each time. So that's what we are going to do. I still need to paint these. These numbers are pretty hard to see. And yes, that's a bubble. I made these dice myself. So they're not perfect, but I don't know. I'm pretty proud of them. So let's get going on the dice roll. First up, we have a 1. That is our first 1 so far. So we'll roll again. Hey, a 2. 1 and 2. And that is a 6. So we get to use our 5 and a 1, so 6. All right, so let's see here. How much do we have here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do 1 more here. And then whatever's left, if anything, because that is 6 left. If we have anything left over, that'll go into our low budget 100 envelope challenge. 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we have $2 that'll go into our $100 envelope challenge. Now I'm super excited to be able to condense this. This I think is going to be a lot of fun to condense. But it'll be really interesting too to find out, you know, how much I end up having at the very end of this. Because it's a pretty low budget challenge, but there's so many spaces to fill. Yeah, that envelope's looking chunky. And unfortunately, we're not going to get to the Christmas one today. But maybe next week, we'll see. Like I said, the end of the month, I get paid twice a month. The second half of the month, and then even the first week in the next month is usually pretty tight. And that's just because more bills come out of my account and stuff like that in the second half. And so I have to make sure that I am not, you know, saving too much at one time. As weird as that sounds, I have to make sure I can cover my bills. So we have $2 here. I'm thinking we'll just mark off the 2. Now, like I said too before, we are going to condense this. We're gonna still condense it in the 100 or in the low budget way to begin with. But then once we save up enough in here, then this last row will start being the actual number. And then everything above that will still be the low budget way. And then once we fill the 90s up completely, then it'll be the 80s that we work on for the actual way and low budget everything else. And until we actually have the real amount saved up in here, which will be a good minute, but maybe if I can get through these, we might actually start focusing more on this. So that'd be kind of cool. But we'll have to wait and see. All right, it's gonna take a while before this one looks chunky, but we'll get there. All right. So unfortunately, I know I kind of skipped over the change. We haven't used cash this week. We've been trying to, you know, not stop at the grocery store, just eat what we have in the house and things like that. And so we really haven't gotten any change. So unfortunately, I don't have anything to add into our change bin, but hopefully here soon. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I feel like today's video was pretty fast and quick, but hopefully here soon we can get into some other stuff. You know, we'll have one more week of cash stuffing and then we'll have a condensing. So that'll be fun. I do want to do condensings routinely early on in the month. And like, I mean, these are starting to look like they could use it a little bit. They're not overflowing or anything by any means yet, but so yeah. All right, thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you again next week. Bye, everybody.